Midlife Butterfly, a woman in the sacred in-between. She's not who she once was, and not quite who she's becoming yet. She's unraveling, awakening, remembering. She's navigating life transitions, divorce, loss, reinvention, moves, with a burning desire for freedom, joy, and soul-led living. She feels the pull to rise, to fly. She is no longer afraid of her own wings. Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to the Midlife Butterfly podcast with your host, Kenna Sue. It is a pleasure having you here and having you in your ears. Thank you for your time. I deeply appreciate it. I feel just so inspired to come here today after having an interview with one of my pod sisters, Dana Hunter-Fradella from Girls Who Recover podcast. Oh my God, we had such a yummy conversation, and it is amazing how impactful and how reflective and how full of connection a question can cause in a person. Like I tell myself, oh yeah, I was questioning myself and but then when someone else comes and questions me from a total different perspective, and then I was at one point like, okay, how am I going to answer this? And I was just being so present and said, of course I'm going to know the answer. There's no reason why not knowing the answer. And it flew so beautifully. Of course, I'm going to be sharing with you eventually when that podcast comes out. And it's been a while that I felt like it being recorded, because the last time was when I was in bed in Oaxaca. And that was like almost a month ago. And here I am now. A lot has happened. And as I work with, women in transition, here we go. A lot of transitions happening since then. I am back in Montreal. I got here the very beginning of May, and it's been wonderful, to be back at my place. I kind of needed it. At the same time, I'm like, oh, I am my own again. Like, even though, I was having my own room in a hostel, but then I will just, go to the kitchen and talk to people and all those things. So it's kind of like, I'm kind of readapting on being on my own and taking it easy, one step at a time. The other transition that I want to talk to you about, if you don't follow me in social media yet, it's about the rebranding of my blissness. Yes, I call it blissness, not business, because it's a bliss having the opportunity to do what I love. And so the Wellbeing Project, which it has been the name of my brand for 4 or 5 years, has turned around and become Midlife Butterfly as the name of this podcast, which it has been the main inspiration of it. Again, talking about questions, I got questioned by someone. It's like, yeah, but your business is called Wellbeing Project. Then you have the Midlife Butterfly podcast, and then you have, your social media handles, and they can use kind of confusing, too many names, whatever. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And she was like, what about if I just ask you, are you a midlife butterfly? And I was like, ching ching, like the freaking click. I was like, hell yeah, this is it. So that's what I chose to rebrand my business to Midlife Butterfly as the name of this podcast. Thank you, Maggie Moore, for that inspiration. And so here I am. I just launched on May 7th. And talking about the transitions, because I'm going to do a mix of them here. I like it. It's the date that I officially said that I was going to launch was May 5th. And then I was working during the weekend in the website, and then around 3 a.m. I was actually feeling very inspired, but I heard this little voice in my head saying, go to bed. And then my other voice saying, oh, but you can stay a bit longer, you still have energy, right? If you know what I'm talking about, one voice was my intuition, my inner beautiful soul telling me, go to bed, it's time. When the other one was my little ego saying, but you can do more. So I followed this last voice, and then I screwed it up within minutes right after. And my website was literally an orange screen with a 404 error on it. And I was like, I cannot believe this. So there you go. It's important to listen to the right voice. It's always there. And when we put attention to it, when we follow, better things are gonna follow. That's for sure. On the other hand, I gotta share that because of that, I reached out to a beautiful dear friend of mine, asking him for help. Because even though I put a ticket with the platform that I have my website with, they said, well, they must take 24 hours and a while or whatever. And I was like, okay, I think this is gonna take much longer. So I reached out to this friend of mine, and then he was like, you know what? I'm actually on my way to Montreal now because he doesn't live here, and to see a client, so I might be able to go to your place after. I was like, okay, let's see how it flows. I'm just gonna leave it there. Ends up, he was able to come here to help me with some things. Well, fix the email, first of all, that I was having another issue. We fixed that, but then the website was still the same. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to check with my boss. He's pretty good at this. And as my father used to say, better friends than money. And within a couple of hours, no, a little bit more than a couple of hours, his boss was able to help us. I know this guy as well, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for your help, Frank. And then I was like, this is fixed. And you know what? I gotta mention, everything happens for a reason. I really wanted to catch up with my friend, so he brought a bottle of wine. I made some guacamole, and so we have a really nice conversation and everything. We catch up, and then the next day, I was like, I don't want to feel the rush to launch my website. So I'm just going to finish whatever I have to finish with calmness, intentionally, with peace, and then it's going to flow. So I just end up whatever I needed to do, at least to have it up and running, whatever. And then I launched it on May 7th. midlifebutterfly.ca if you want to go check it out. So that's the other transition that I'm going on, besides coming back to Montreal, is the fact that my website is up. I'm super excited about it. It feels so aligned. You don't have an idea. Feels so aligned with the kind of work that I'm doing now with my clients, with my soul, with the soul of my blissness, that you can hear it now in my face, in my voice. I feel so emotional and so honored to be able to do this kind of work and put it out there, because I keep seeing the results that people can get. And in the last calls that I have had, especially one of my clients, I literally hang up the call in Zoom and then I start crying because of the shifts that she's been doing in her life. We've been working together for 6 months, and it's just incredible. how she has shifted and how she has improved her life, and the opportunities and the synchronicities and the connection with her children and back with her family. And it's just so freaking amazing that that's what it feels so fucking proud, because I know that the work that I'm doing, I know the help that I can offer women in transition is transformational. It is. It is. At the same time, I want to mention that midlife, it's a roller coaster. Well, life itself is a roller coaster. I just think and feel and believe that in this chapter of our lives, the ups and downs are probably coming more often and deeper, and we feel it wilder. And yeah, because there's a lot of things happening at the same time. Because if it either is, something happening with your partner at home, or if you have children with your children, either if they are there or they have special needs, or if you're gonna become an empty nester, or if you are separating or divorcing, or if you are moving to a new city, to a new country, or if you are just traveling around and coming back to your place, and if you're changing jobs, or if you're meeting new people and then letting go of their friendships, all those transitions in this season of midlife is just, wow, it's more wild, it's just, and it's so exciting at the same time, because that's life, that's the journey. It's just so freaking great. And I mean it truly. It's so freaking great when we go up the hill, and it's so freaking great when we go down, because then we're gonna learn something and we're gonna discover something within ourselves that we didn't know it was there. And then when we go up the hill, we know, like, I can be more resilient. I have all this courage. And then when we go down the hill, it's like, shit, like all this grief and all this sadness. But I know that I have resilience, that I can keep going. And that's my invitation for you. Beautiful. To keep going, because this journey is so fucking worth it. If you are here, I believe because there is a connection with our souls, and because you believe that we have a soul. And by welcoming whatever it is in life that is happening, it just go with more flow and more ease and more peace, despite whatever is happening out there, and whatever it can be happening inside of, with all your emotions, whatever, between quotes, we call bad emotions, but they are not such a thing. It's just, all emotions are neutral. It's just about, getting back into alignment, getting back into center, because our emotions are there just to guide us. That's it. That's all. And when they are guiding us, it's just about allowing them to go through us. And then they will move away. That's it. So, are you a midlife butterfly? In which transition of your life do you feel that you are going at this very moment? What is happening that you might be now, in the cocooning phase, where it's time for you to go in and really do a self-discovery over there, because I don't know, probably a relationship broke, you lost a dear one, or your children move away, or whatever it is, or probably it's your own awakening. Are you in that cocooning phase where you need to get more intimate with yourself, at looking at your thoughts, at your emotions, at your patterns, at whatever it is that it can get your attention, that is like calling you up for something that has or needs to be healed, that needs, that attention, that presence. Or are you already kind of like because that's part of the gooey part, right? That cocooning. That sometimes it looks so that is never going to end because we cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel, but I can tell you there is a light. There is a light. The length of the tunnel, I don't know. But what I can tell you is the more time you take to explore, to dig in, to experience those emotions, to heal, the shorter that tunnel might get. Or I don't know if you're in the part of the dissolving, because remember, the worm actually eats itself until it has to die. And that's what midlife is all about too, about death and rebirth continuously. What is something that you have to let go, or somebody, or what part of you is dying that you need to honor, that you need to take the time to grieve? Either if it's a relationship, if it's another job, if it's an older version of you, are you really taking that time to dissolve, to go to that death and honor it? So then you can move to that phase of emerging, of that little butterfly growing back again little by little. And how important it is to honor that phase as well, that phase of growth, that phase of becoming, that we say, but I prefer the word of remembering, because it's a remembrance of who you really are. Every time you are shedding something out, it's about remembering and coming back to yourself. So what is it that is emerging in there? And I invite you in this phase to have that courage and that resilience to keep going. Because as you might have seen, when a butterfly is coming out, the butterfly needs that push, that strength to be able to rip off that cocoon. I think that's the word in English, sorry. And to be able to spread the wings again. Because they say that if someone help a butterfly get out of that cocoon and not use their own strength, they might die because they're not going to be able to fly on their own. So that's what I'm here for you as an empowerment coach. It's to show you tools and practices that you can use in your daily life to build in that strength and to regain that power and that responsibility so you can spread your wings with such an expression and splendor and magnificence so you can fly again. Because I know you can fly again. If I was able to do it, you can do it too. And there's so many stories about that here in Midlife Butterfly, in the other episodes, of comebacks from women after many things, after, being a widow, after, living from trauma from a mom, after recovering from divorce, after so many things. Because you are not alone. You are never alone. One thing is when we isolate ourselves, but truly we are never alone. So in which phase of the midlife butterfly are you? In the cocooning phase, in a dissolving phase, in the emerging phase, in the flying phase? I would like you to share that with me. Either, you can send me a DM in Instagram, or if you're listening in Spotify, you can actually write a comment in here. Or you can also share it as in Apple Podcast. If you do a testimonial, you can also write it down in there. You're more than welcome to do that. And yeah, that's life. That is midlife. The transitions that we go over and over again, the phases that we go over and over again, and that courage and resilience that we can build from within by taking care of yourself, by prioritizing yourself, by taking responsibility for yourself, by setting beautiful boundaries with people, by acknowledging your worthiness, by feeling whole again when you welcome and embrace and accept all parts of you. This is the path that I have walked to be where I am now. All these different tools, all these different practices that I have been putting out, and it is because I have embodied them now. And that's what I am here to teach and to show others, because life is going to continue to shift over and over again. And the more you get to know who you are, love yourself, know your worth, the more solid, grounded, stable, and aligned you're going to feel, that it doesn't matter what transition you are going through, you're gonna be able to stay grounded or if you really fell down, you're gonna have the tools for you to get up faster. And that's what I offer. That's what I have these conversations with other women that, with their practices, with the things that they have come through to be where they are now, because it is possible for you to come out and to get up again and to do it again and again and again. And the more you are into alignment with your soul, body, and mind, the easier it's going to be for you to move through those transitions. So that's my invitation for you. And I have the Midlife Butterfly guide. It's a free guide which actually shows the 5 main practices that I've been doing for the past 4 years that have helped me move forward after every transition, after my father passed away, after I separated and divorced, after the breakup of one of my best friends, after, getting to live on my own, after having a short relationship of 6 months, after living now as a digital nomad, after still going through healing with the relationship with my siblings, all these things that are always happening. Again, the roller coaster is there. We are in it. So keep strap on. Take these tools with you. And you're gonna see that these ups and downs are gonna get easier. At least with more flow, by you not creating resistance. Okay? So cheers to the transitions in life. Cheers to you for investing in yourself by listening to this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. And I hope to hear from you very soon. If you want to follow this podcast Midlife Butterfly, if you want to leave a review, if you want to share in the socials when you're listening to it, whatever it is that inspires you. So I know that you are there. I know you are there. It's just different when I'm just looking at my screen now while recording this. But be sure that I'm recording with a heart open, with an open heart, with a big smile in my face of happiness, of gratitude, and for having the honor of your time. Thank you so much. I love you. Sending you lots of kisses. Take care. Thank you for tuning into Midlife Butterfly. If this episode lit a spark in you, hit that subscribe or follow button on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to listen, so you'll never miss the magic. If you're feeling generous, drop a review on Apple Podcasts. It helps this empowering content reach more souls ready to transform their lives. And don't forget to take a photo of you while listening and share it on your socials. You can tag me at KenasYou so I can celebrate you and your expansion. Until next time, keep spreading those wings and living in joy, growth, and pleasure.